let's talk about the character designs, all right? And if I have any problems with it. Now, Chun Li, I think she looks perfect. Um, I mean, she's the perfect pick. She's she's perfect. I mean, now I like it. I wouldn't change anything about this. The only thing that you would probably see is maybe like her spiked. She has like spiked bracelets, but you don't really need that because I mean, who wears that? It doesn't make any sense. So I like that they didn't do that because in the in the real world, I almost said in the weird world. In the real world, that doesn't make any sense for a Chun Li to have that. I mean, I think she's an investigator or a cop. Yeah, they don't be wearing stuff like that. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's just character design for gaming is different than character design for a movie or live action movie. It can't be the same thing. You have to have an explanation for everything that you got on. And there's never been an explanation for those damn spiked bracelets. It just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I wouldn't change anything about Chan Li. When it comes to Ken, I wouldn't change anything either. I would maybe give him like an alternate suit, similar to his Street Fighter 5 suit, because I really like that one. I don't like the execution of it, but I like the way it looks. I really like what they were trying to do. Um, and they wouldn't be a problem here because they have the same hairstyle. He just needs like his bangs down, and it will be just the same, exactly the same as his Street Fighter Five. Um, his Street Fighter Five skin. Which, like I said, I like. I just don't like the execution because his hair looked like bananas. That's the only thing. But in real life, that wouldn't happen because you have real hair. You don't have banana hair. So that's my only thing that I would change. But this looks good too. I mean, I like this too. Um, Rio, I wouldn't change anything. The only thing I would change is give him a little bit more scuffle, like a little bit more like um not a beard, but like evidence of maybe there could be a beard. That's what I would do. Chun Li. Oh, that's no. We already talked about her. Yeah, she's perfect. Um, I think this is fine. I think this is good. Personally, I think this looks good. And it makes sense. It makes more sense than for the real world. It makes more sense than the game design because this actually looks like a wild man. This actually looks like freaking monkey Sasquatch type thing. I personally think it's perfect. Maybe give him like sharper teeth, or maybe give him fangs or something. That would be the only thing I would change. But other than that, I think he's perfect. Perfect. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna be picky, so maybe the hairline goes a little bit further back, just a little bit further back, because the way it looks right now, it seems like if he didn't make those cuts, he doesn't really have a regular hairline. You get what I'm saying? Like his shit is like really it's connect. He has to do that because it's connected to his eyebrows. So for me personally, his hairline would be pulled back a little bit further back. Personally, um, Vega looks pretty cool. Cool. I would say a little bit more Spanish, a little bit less gay. But I mean, I get it. Vega's always been a little bit flamboyant type of guy. He's definitely not gay, but he is like Spanish. So, Spanish people uh, with the whole flamenco or whatever they do with the dancing stuff, it's kind of like on the flamboyant side. But I would just personally do more Spanish on him. Now this is the one that I have, the most problems with. Um, I just I just don't feel it. I just don't feel like he's evil at all. I just feel like he's just a guy. He's like a little weak guy that wants to be strong, which is like most dictators, really, if you think about it. So for the real world, it makes sense. I just personally, me personally, I would to make him look more evil. I would shave his eyebrows and give him a fake, like a fake chin that looks more Giga Chatty, right? And those are the changes I would make. And maybe they'll do that once he gets infused with psycho power. He'll look more evil when that happens. But right now, he just looks like your typical dictator that wants to be strong but really isn't. Which, like I said, it makes sense for the real world because most of the dictators that we have in today's society, the real world, that's pretty much what they are. I wouldn't change nothing from this guy. Perfect. I mean, the hair looks kind of weird, but it's Guile. You know, yeah. Akuma, I like it, but I think his hair should be this. This is what I would change. Okay, his beard should be a lot longer and a lot more disorderly and because you gotta understand, Akuma's a hermit, right? He's a guy who's out in the wild, so he's not gonna have time to really take care of his beard or shave or anything like that. So it makes sense that he has a beard. I would just make it longer. And his hair, I would spike up his hair. Make it shorter to where when he holds it up, it kind of spikes up. Because that's what makes Akuma give his Akuma vibes, is that his ponytail is spiked up. That's the only thing I would change. And shave his eyebrows. Yeah, just shave his eyebrows. Shaving people's eyebrows makes them look demonic. Okay, we get this from actually The Exorcist. I don't know if you guys remember The Exorcist. When the little bitch goes crazy, you know, she ain't got no eyebrows. So Bison shave his eyebrows, give him a Giga Chat, and Akuma shave his eyebrows and spike up his ponytail. That's what I would do. But other than that, I mean, it's perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. I mean, listen, Chun-Li and all of the girls, they're perfect, all of them. And I mean, would I change stuff to make it look more real? Yes, I would. But at the same time, I mean, it's fine. I'm not gonna complain too much about it. I like it. I don't know what to say. Dan, listen, he's the only guy on the list that, I mean, him and M Bison, where I was kind of like, why him? I get that they're funny, and Dan's a funny guy, and this guy, he's funny too. Like we got to be honest, he's funny, right? Like I've seen his comedy, he's a funny guy. Andrew Schultz. But to me, it's like, how can I say this? It's like, it's a different type of funny, than when I think Schultz is going to represent. And also, how is he Taiwanese? Or actually, he's either, I don't remember exactly where he's from, the character. He's either from Hong Kong or Taiwan. This guy, he does not look like he's from either of those places. Just me personally, it just doesn't look that way. But I mean, we got him here now. What do I think about this? It's all right. I mean, it's fine. It depends what he's gonna be doing in the film. What is he gonna be? Is he gonna be a promoter? Is he gonna be a fighter? What is he gonna be doing? And that's what's gonna determine whether I like it or not. But as far as me, my first choice, it wouldn't have been Dan. You know, there's a lot of Asian actors out there that are funny that I would have picked instead of him. You know, yeah. Um, like I said, shave the eyebrows off. You know, Street Fighter has a lot of these shaved eyebrows guys. You know, so also a lot of their eyes are white. If you notice that, that's another one too. Um, I'm not saying do that, but I mean maybe when he powers up or something. This guy here, I mean, he's supposed to have a mustache, he's supposed to have glasses, and he's supposed to have a hat on. You know what I mean? That's my thing about him. And he looks just like the guy too if he puts those things on. So, um, E Honda, listen, E Honda's not that fat. That's crazy. Like this is crazy right here. E Honda's fat. Don't get me wrong. He's considered fat, but he's athletically fat. And to be honest, E Honda is probably one of the hardest bodies to obtain because he had. And I'm not saying that he should we should be exactly like E Honda. I'm not saying that, but this is way too fat in my opinion. Like the way he hangs over his junk is like, yeah, it's crazy. But I'm listen, and I'm not fat shaming. I'm saying like that's cool if that's your whatever, but like I wanted him to look more like E Honda. That's my thing. I wanted him to look a little bit more like E Honda. And in order to do that, his belly has to be smaller than that. He's still fat, right? But it has to be smaller than that, not too like droopy. In my person, and I hate saying this because I'm not fat shaming. I'm like talking about the character and how he has to look like the character. That's all I'm saying. Also, why doesn't he have his paint on his face? Like, this is the first, or the second tournament, right? Or the World Warrior tournament. He had the paint on his face. You know, and it's not that hard to do, and it's not that difficult to get in the real world either. So it doesn't make any sense for me personally. There's just certain things I would change to make him look more like E Honda. But anyways, this is my opinion. And this here, this is probably the best design because it gives me confirmation to what I already thought about this character, Joe. Um, and I told you guys in the last video that I made talking about Joe and where he comes from and what he ultimately became. And he ultimately became Terry Bogard, right? And if you look at the colors we have here, I mean, this is Terry Bogard all the way, guys. Come on. Like look at, let's zoom in here a little bit. Look at that star, that belt buckle star. Like, if I know a lot of you are gonna get mad with me, but I've always said that Terry Bogard is from Texas. He's a Texas guy. Like, I'm sorry to say that to a lot of people because they think that he's probably from Florida or from California, but let's kind of map it out, okay? Let's kind of map it out. Let me zoom out of his crotch a little bit because that is kind of weird. But I was actually zooming into the belt buckle. But anyways, Southtown. Where is Texas? It's in the South. Okay. Now it's called Southtown because if you look at the map, when we first see Terry Bogard in the very first game, all right, he comes back from traveling the world or whatever because he's always traveling. He's like a traveler, and we first see him. Excuse me. I thought I wanted a burp, but anyways, when we first see him, we see him coming like on top of a mountain, and you see the map. And the map looks like all of the South. It looks like Florida. You could see, what's it called? Louisiana. And you can see Texas. Like, it looks like the Gulf of Mexico. Okay? And he's coming from the west side near where Louisiana's at. Okay, where Texas is at. Okay, he first shows up and he looks. He's just looking towards like the sea, and there's like a couple of islands there or whatever. Okay, and that's Southtown. Okay, so for the guy who invented Terry Bogard and Southtown and all of these characters from Fatal Fury, I personally believe that he was thinking about all of the South and combining it into one city. And he's putting all of the Gulf of Mexico, Florida, and all of those islands um into one town, and each one of these guys represents parts of the Gulf of Mexico. You got a guy that does capoeira. You got different types of characters that represent different types. Now, Terry Bogard, in my personal opinion, represents Texas because of the way he dresses, his belt buckle, his star. If you know anything about Texas, it's called the Lone Star State. Okay, so he's always has the star. The star is like his emblem. All right, and that's also the emblem of Texas. So that's the only reason why I think he's Texan. He also dresses kind of like a Texan, to be honest with you. He has like the vests and the the jeans and stuff. He has another one where he has like an Air Force thing. Like we have, a big like Air Force and a big NASA thing going on here. And a lot of people are kind of proud of that from that area, and they do dress that way sometimes. Even though they have nothing to do with the Air Force, even though they've never, you know, drove a plane in their lives, they dress that way because they want to like represent whatever, like NASA and shit. Not so much today, but it used to be a thing back in the day. But anyways, it was just funny when I saw him and I saw his stars and shit. I was like, I mean, they're basically telling us who he's gonna become in the future, which is Terry Bogard. And it would be crazy if they do that, bro. Like if they do like a little hint to that, to where he's like, hey, where you going? I'm gonna go to Southtown or something like that. And then he puts on a hat and he just leaves. That would be crazy. I would be like, yo, they doing the thing. But anyways, so yeah, so what's her name, by the way? Julia or Julie? So Julie is the character, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know this character, but I do know she's one of the dolls. And she's a very good. The actor is a very good martial artist. That's on Instagram. So she's pretty good. Zangief. I wouldn't change anything from Zangief, to be honest with you. He's kind of wearing the suit that he has in Street Fighter 6, which is pretty cool. Is the only guy that has his Street Fighter 6 outfit. His alternative 2 or yeah, his alternative 2 outfit. I think he just needs the reading glasses, and that's about it. But anyways, this is gonna be it for today, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you guys later.